pitches. And just yesterday, he's the first base umpire during the Milwaukee Brewers and the Tampa Bay Rays game. Jake Bowers is running out a routine ground ball to first base, and C.B. Buckner calls him out and says that he did not step on the bag. So they challenged the play, Milwaukee Brewers, and you can clearly and visibly see
he touched the
Jake
bag.
Bowers' right foot stepping on the bag. Okay, we gave you the benefit of the doubt with the pitches, but for you not to see a runner step on the bag, that's very alarming. So Major League Baseball, you should be worried. And I don't know what's going on with CB Buckner, but he is from Jamaica, so you just got to say, what the blood clot?
What the what the
Come on, CB Buckner. You got to get it together, baby. Ooh. Right, 26 missed calls.
Dang. Wow.
What you got, bro?
Well, you know what? We finally have our ugly of the weekend. Sheriff Var, that would be you.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much going on topics-wise in sports. So getting through 3 hours of radio with limited topics is ugly. And clearly, Q and Jonas chose the light topics week in sports to get a week off. So I'm super proud of them getting the opportunity to get some rest. But they definitely left me in Plex. Some Slim Fast. It wasn't Shake Shack. It wasn't Five Guys milkshakes. They left the Slim Fast in the cupboards to drink all week. So
and sure,
I mean, we're gonna get slim, but we're gonna get through it. So that's my ugly, though. I mean, we give you what we got, but some of these topics, I mean, it just is what it is. We got to talk about it, but golly, it ain't the funnest. So I'm with y'all for some of y'all haters out there. That's my ugly.
Damn.
How's the Twitter looking?
I don't know. I don't look at it. I definitely ain't looking today. They might be right today, sons of bitches, but it is what it is. Lorena, do you have a good, bad, or an ugly for the week since we got a minute left?
Oh, gosh. I have a career day coming up on Friday, and I'm making the ugliest PowerPoint presentation I might have seen in my entire life. Does that count?
Really? What's it for?
Career day. I'm going to go talk about radio to all these children. I get to do it 6 times in a row, back to back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that here or is that in Oregon?
Yeah, it's here in California, over in West Covina. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Nice.
you're talking to kids. How ugly can it be?
Oh, it's not ugly until you cry.
Oh,
you're gonna cry.
Man.
Oh, I always do, because they want you to go over your trials and tribulations that you go through to be encouraging to kids. And first time I'm
that's a good thing.
Yeah, make those connections.
Oh, all right. Well, okay. Well, for the children. That's a good thing. All right. We got hour 3 coming up at you. We're going to be here. Hope you're there as well. It's Fox Sports Radio. It's 2 pros and a cup of Joe.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You love your land. During Kubota Orange Days, you'll love all the great deals. With versatile compact tractors, professional-grade mowers, and durable utility vehicles, Kubota equipment can help you turn dream projects into reality. Kubota Orange Days is here, and so are the best deals of the year. Now through June 30th, get select compact tractors with 0% financing available or save up to $5,500. Sale ends soon. Go to KubotaOrangeDays.com or stop by your local dealer for more information.
Don't miss the 2026 iHeart Country Festival, Saturday, May 2nd at the Moody Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
All lanes are back open after an accident cleared on I-35 northbound at Stassi Lane, but there is still some residual backup from Onion Creek Parkway. It will take some time for speeds to get back to normal in the area. And looking on to 290 westbound for some stop-and-go speeds, adding 8 to 10 minutes to the commute. You're slow from FM 1100 to FM 973. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
You'll use the radio in your car more than anything else. When buying a new car, make sure the AM/FM is simple, clear, and convenient.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Texas Beach Volleyball is back in Austin, April 3rd and 4th. Your Longhorns host Tulane Friday afternoon at 1, then face Washington Friday night at 6. The action continues Saturday morning at 10 against Houston Christian. Admission is free, so bring your friends and family and enjoy the matches. Get there early and feel the energy on the sand. And if you can't make it out, watch it live on the free Longhorn Network app. Learn more at TexasLonghorns.com. That's TexasLonghorns.com. Hook 'em!
Start your day with Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal. The Instant Oatmeal, ready to help you tackle whatever your day brings, like wrangling your toddler into their car seat. That was fun. Coaching your 6th graders soccer team. Go girls! And carrying all the groceries in one trip. Whew. Try Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal, granola, and bars. Great taste and a good source of protein. Quaker. Bring out the good.
Meet iPhone 17e. A whole lot for a lot less. With an almighty, all-powerful A19 chip. And Ceramic Shield 2, built to survive this. And this. And a 48-megapixel fusion camera with 2x optical quality zoom and next-gen portraits. And double the starting storage of iPhone 16e. And long-lasting battery life for hours of watching the studio.
That's the dream!
And it comes with Apple Intelligence. And you can charge it with USB-C. Or with MagSafe accessories. And a whole lot more. All for a lot less. Get the new iPhone 17e at Verizon today.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the OSAA, are the 99,000 high school sports and performing arts students in Oregon. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, debate team members, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, officials, and adjudicators. We stand for the drummers, football players, and actors. We stand for the golfers, singers, and swimmers. We stand as the national leader and advocate for these essential activities and all who participate in them and make them possible, because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
From the Audio Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, Mo City, El Paso, San Antonio, and Sealsby, Texas, or wherever you may be listening. This is a way back Wednesday edition of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Coach Clark met with the media, and we'll get all into what's going on the 40 acres. The Texas women have made it to Phoenix. We'll hear from our guy, Fred Way. I interviewed him yesterday. He will be part of the show today. Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman joins us at 7:34. Texas baseball wins a Tuesday night game and now is headed to South Carolina. And with this ABS system in place, will the umpires make it hard for them to not have robots on the field? CB Buckner strikes again. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry, but he's a little under the weather, so we will roll as always. And, of course, we've got our guy Marcus behind the boards. If you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Also, if you want to voice your opinion, all you got to do is use that talkback feature on the new and improved and always free iHeartRadio app. If it's good enough, we'll get it instantly, and you might even hear it on air. Well, I want to get into this conversation because obviously Coach Sark and this Texas football team deserves a lot of attention. This is a big year. We've talked about them earlier in the show and talked about the fact of how this game, this season is going to be important. But not only that, there's a lot going on the 40 acres. And when I say a lot, I'm talking about success. When you look at men swimming and diving, they lit the tower for them back to back. Being able to win championships. You look at what Texas baseball has been able to do, and they got a victory last night. They continue to roll. Texas softball winning 29 straight games. I mean, there's a lot. You got rowing. There's so much happening on the 40 acres. And, oh, yeah, the Texas women are headed to the Final Four. So Coach Sark addressed those things and also how practice has been going on the 40 acres.
Again, another great week on the 40 acres, with men's swimming and diving winning a national championship. Baseball with a big, sweep over OU. Softball, another Lone Star Showdown win for them. And obviously women's basketball going to the Final Four. So it's just awesome. All that's happening right now with our spring sports is really, I touched on it last week, motivating but exciting. And I'm really happy for the student athletes and the coaches. I know the time and effort that everybody's putting into their programs right now. And so it's great to see. For us, it was a great start to the week, man. What a competitive practice today was, coming off of a really competitive practice on Tuesday. And, I really commended the guys today for their competitive spirit. I mean, they're going after it. They're working really hard, which is a great sign in spring ball on practice number 7, that the work ethic is as high as it is right now and the competitive spirit is as high as it is. We've got plenty of work to go on, and we're still developing an identity of mental and physical toughness that's needed to persevere for the long haul. But 7 practices in, I've been pleased with where we're at. We're starting to get more and more guys back competing, and we're getting some guys that are learning how to fight through some of the bumps and bruises that football presents us. And again, I think that's the mental toughness side that our guys are starting to exude right now.
As I sit and I think about this football team and the expectations, obviously they are through the roof, and we've talked a little bit about that, and we'll continue to have that conversation. But you start to look at the offensive side of the ball, and then you look at the defensive side of the ball. But the other part of it is you have a ton of new faces during that time. So when you have a lot of new faces and you got different personalities, and Coach Sark has kind of touched on this multiple times, you have to try to build culture early. He spoke about how sometimes he waited a little bit too long, and that's something that he learned in checking the balances of everything when you look at last year and why this team did not be a part of the new 12-team playoff. I know it was disheartening. It's disappointing. So you do a lot of reflection, and you realize that, hey, I might have missed the mark on the culture part of it. But he talked about it yesterday about how it just seems like even with the new guys, this seems to be a team that has been building a bigger and stronger culture.
One area where I really see it is like we've got this really competitive, practices that are going on right now. But at the same token, like I see this connectivity all happening at the same time. Like I see Raleigh Brown hit a run, and at the same time, him enjoying it with the defense. Almost it's odd. It's odd to see that, or a defensive guy get a big win or an interception, and like there's just this connection that's happening. As competitive as it is, there's a really cool connection, and I credit the staff. I credit the leaders on the team for doing that. I just feel like we're together, and like I was telling the team, like together we can accomplish a lot. Individually, it's a lot more difficult in our sport. It's an ultimate team sport. So together we can, and I think they understand that, and they're working hard. But I would say they're working hard together, and that's a good sign right now.
And that's the part too that a lot of people don't truly understand when you have a lot of new faces. I played professional baseball for a long time, and you start to move from team to team, and obviously there's some cliques that are part of one group, and then you go to another side and you're trying to figure out, how do I fit in with this group? But once you get on the field, you start to understand, the strengths, the weaknesses of other people, and you kind of gravitate to those and build those up. And that's what I believe Coach Sark has seen with his team. The leadership group has truly evolved, and at the end of the day, winning and working towards winning helps the team build a good personality. So I love the fact that he's already noticing that. Obviously, the games aren't played on paper, so you got to go there. But one of the things that was talked about yesterday is that quarterback room. And you start to look around, Arch Manning, Dia Bell, and KJ Lacey all being a part of that room, with Arch just working through some of the drills and doing some things, but he's not part of the full contact and all that. He doesn't need to. He's been here. He's in his fourth year. And Sark talked about what Arch has been doing and being cautious with him because he is coming off of that surgery.
Yeah, no, the plan hasn't changed. That's been the plan all along. Arch through today, he did 7-on-7. He did a lot of our group work. He did routes on air. That was the plan all along for us. And so we've really stayed the course, which has been encouraging for me. Again, he's in year 4 in our system. The system hasn't changed. We haven't had a new coordinator. We haven't had to do those things. And so there's a level of comfort for me, but I also think it's important for KJ, D, and MJ. They need these real team reps right now. They need to get these things. And so, it's working out really well for us. I think that now Arch is really back throwing and going that way, that he's finding that continuity with some of the other receivers. Ryan's back out there. Emmett's back out there. He's working with Cam. He's working with these 3 young guys. He's working with Sterling to go along with Day. So we're fortunate that way. The experience that Arch has, like you would an NFL vet at this time of the year, but it's really important, and it's been great for KJ and Dia, and those guys are making tremendous strides, and which is encouraging as well.
Speaking of KJ and Dia Bell, KJ Lacey and Dia Bell, Sark was asked about what he's learned about those 2 quarterbacks with Arch being on the sideline.
That's the beauty, right? I mean, it's like, it's hard. I mean, you're going against that first team defense, and KJ's back there, and he's got Colin and Lance and Raheem Biles and Jelani McDonald. I mean, he's got he's got Alex January. I mean, these guys are players. And so the speed of the game, the duress that you can be under, the decision-making under duress, the ability to make plays when things break down, you learn a lot in team settings. And I think these are invaluable reps for KJ. I think they're invaluable for Dia. As he's learning the system, we're learning him at the same time, which is huge for us, as well as MJ, a guy who's played football at the Power 4 level, now learning the system, but watching him play in real time with real live action and speed, I think is important. And so what I'm most encouraged by those guys is the growth from one day to the next. I didn't expect them to come out, the first 3 days and just light it up and be perfect, but the incremental growth is important. My frustration kicks in is when we coach them on something, and then we make the same mistake the next time. And so there's a give and take on that front. And generally that's when my voice starts to raise, is when we start to make the same mistakes twice. Now I'm going to be a little more animated in our coaching of that position. But there's other areas where I don't have to get animated because they're learning on the go. And so that's part of it. They're not a finished product, but they need these reps right now. These are super valuable for us.
You know, it's funny when you look at how he said that. You know, I'm gonna let you slide a little bit, but then that parenting come out. He's like, how many times do I have to tell you not to walk across the street? And you go across the street and you get hit by a car. Remember, you used that analogy before.
Yeah, you just got to give them that look at that point.
Yeah. You know, Sean Miller used that analogy. Now Coach Sark is over there talking about it as well. We're just getting started here on a Way Back Wednesday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone. When we come back, the Dallas Cowboys are trying to make some moves. We'll hear from Schottenheimer, and guess what? Jerry's talking, folks. You don't want to miss it. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
Texas basketball is back on the hardwood, and AM 1300 The Zone is your home for every bucket.
How about poke for three? How about it? Every dunk. Now drives. Baseline goes up with a two-handed jam. Oh, what a throwdown.
Every heart-stopping moment.
Come on, drives in. Off the glass. It's good. Here's Taylor, 2 seconds. Launches from midcourt. Off the rim, no good. Texas wins the game.
All season long on The Zone.
Don't miss the 2026 iHeart Country Festival, Saturday, May 2nd at the Moody Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Checking out the drive this morning in Manor on Highway 290 westbound. 15 minutes tacked onto your drive through some congestion from FM 1100 to FM 973. It's a 5-minute slowdown on I-35 northbound going from FM 150 to Highway 45. And a few minutes lost on Highway 71 westbound from 130 to I-35. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cotton Patch Cafe.
Big plate, bigger flavor. Just $9.99. That's the Texas value meal, and it's only at Cotton Patch Cafe. Chicken fried steak, meatloaf, crispy tenders, all scratch cooked and Texas proud. Always $9.99. Only at Cotton Patch Cafe.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code FUTURE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FUTURE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's FUTURE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang here from Las Culturistas, requesting your ears on our podcast.
Download and listen on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Basketball fans, here's your three-pointer for game day greatness. Stock up at Specs. Score lower prices and taste watch party victory. Specs' lineup of snacks, variety packs, all-star spirits, and mixers to match is sure to bring home the win. When your favorites make it in the basket, you rack up the savings. Celebrate this tournament like champions with Specs, wine, spirits, and finer foods. the lowest prices in Texas.
With iHeart, everything you hear is guaranteed human. That's why 78% of listeners trust their favorite radio host's product recommendations. If you manage a business or need to drive sales, that trust goes a long way. Call 844-844-iHeart. Again, that's 844-844-iHeart.
Want a great way to boost your brand? Custom labels at Staples will help packages pop, shipments stand out, and takeout boxes really take off. Shop now through April 18th and save 30% on all custom labels. Staples. That was easy.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary.
I couldn't believe that my property taxes kept going up and up and up. I felt totally helpless. But then I discovered Ownwell. Ownwell reduced my property taxes and saved me over $1,000.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be reduced. Ownwell combines savvy technology and deep local expertise to save real estate owners real money. Plus, Ownwell handles everything from paperwork to negotiations and even attending hearings on your behalf. Ownwell saves you time and money.
Now I feel like I'm back in control because Ownwell reduces my property taxes every year.
Want to see how much Ownwell can save you on your property taxes? Just enter an address and see your tax savings estimate. See how much you can save with Ownwell right now. Text FILE to 64,000. Text FILE to 64,000. That's FILE to 64,000.
It's the Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
You sit there and you try to do your research and you're looking for all these answers on so many different things, and the narratives continue to change. And the one thing that I always want to make sure happens is that people understand that we work hard to make sure that we bring you the best in infotainment. When I look around and see all these people saying crazy things just to get clicks, I will never be that person. I just can't. I don't desire those types of things. I want to come in here, entertain you, have some fun. But when you look out here on that place, that platform that we have to use X to get our messaging out, to let you know what we have going on. And I see some of these stories that are out there that are so far from the truth.
You just talking about the guys that just be saying stuff, saying stuff.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah, it's so annoying.
And then you can't really tell what's real and fake anymore. And that's the thing that I'm always like, go find another source, go find somebody that covers that really is in it to win it.
Yeah, sometimes those these links people be posting, they have an S at the end of it, like that's not the website.
News. Yeah,
that's not a real website,
that's
bro.
not a real website. So just be safe out there and really, really understand that it's hard out here to be consistent. And Danny Davis can talk to that coming up next, as he is one of those guys that's really conscious of what he puts out every single day, and he's not chasing the clicks like some of the other people. I'm not talking about people that we know personally. I'm just saying nationally and all over the place. But I want to talk about this because somebody that is always out there for clicks is Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is always talking about things that some folks truly are trying to figure out if he's serious about winning or is it just about the dollar bill. But somebody that I believe is serious about winning is Coach Schottenheimer. Coach Schottenheimer was relinquished and was able to go out and get his defensive coordinator. And yesterday he had a chance to talk to Kay Adams, and he talked about how the defensive players don't want to leave Coach Christian Parker, the new DC's office, because he relates to these players so well.
Yeah, I think yes, always thinking about the team. I think it goes back to this. The starting point for us, getting Christian Parker. Incredible coach. I gave him a hard time. He's 34 years old. He's never been a coordinator. Right when we hired him, I said, hey, man, why you been slacking? I was 32 when I got my first job. And but the staff we put together, Kay, it's so cool for me to watch our players come up when they're in there lifting, whatever, getting rehab, and they won't leave his office.
Really?
They literally will not leave CP's office. They
Tell-
come up there, they're just hanging out, they're just talking life, and he's into shoes. He's got like 350 pairs of shoes. He's got watches that I probably can't afford. His style,
okay.
yeah, I mean, his style is just different. And so I think I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about what we did in free agency. You know, we filled a lot of holes. We got Rashawn Gary into trade. We really wanted to secure the secondary, so we got some really good safeties, some really good corners, and we want to go into the draft with the 2 first-round picks, drafting pure. And I think we're going to be able to do that.
I mean, you really have to understand the difference that was made. That is not the same conversation that was had with Matt Eberflus. That is not the same conversation that was being had with some of the other players talking about being in there. Maybe it's them trying to get to know him. Maybe that's part of it, and that's great. But it's obvious that the Cowboys have made a conscious effort to go younger on the coaching staff, but also to get with the times. If you start to look around the NFL and you look at these offensive-minded head coaches in the coaching tree, you see the Sean McVays, obviously the Kyle Shanahans. They were all part of the same organization, and they're fast-tracking. They're getting things done because the game has changed. The speed of the game is different. Those defenses that you're used to running, they're not playing anymore because so many people are so advanced in these positions. So going out there, getting a young defensive coordinator that can come in, and he too was fast-tracked, even though I wanted to point out that Shotty said he got his first job at 32. Well, your dad was an NFL coach, bro.
Yeah.
Let's not go past the nepotism.
Yeah.
Let's not go past that. I ain't mad at you, but let's not just gloss over that fact.
But also the fact getting a younger coach, seems like he has an open door policy. So you get a younger coach with an open door policy, guys are going to want to relate to him. Guys are going to want to play for him, especially if he is that guy that we presume him to be strategic-wise.
Right. And then you also got to look at it too, okay? So now you're trying to put this defense together, and this was one of the conversations that Mark Henry and I had yesterday about Dallas being aggressive on the defensive side, going out and getting some players. But one player that is still out there that was I thought he did a good job with the Cowboys last year was Jadeveon Clowney. But it doesn't sound from Jerry Jones like a reunion will be happening with Clowney and the Cowboys.
I think Clowney is more right than I am there. And so it's real hard when you look at how Clowney came home last year and the snaps he gave us. It's real hard not to have a place there for Clowney. But you can't have it all. You just can't have it all. And if things go right for us, we've already made a signing, we've made trades. We think that's the better way to go. And then, of course, we got the draft and could very easily.
And that's the other part of it too. Okay, so you sit there and you look at this situation with Jadeveon Clowney. He's a mercenary. He's a hired gun everywhere he goes. If you look at it, he's only at a team for a couple seasons, if that.
One in and one out.
Yeah, he's trying to move on to the next paycheck, which do your thing, man. Do your thing. But Jerry's also like, okay, we've got rid of Micah. We've had that conversation about Max Crosby. Doesn't look like that's happening. There's some names out there. Myles Garrett, he restructured his deal in Cleveland so to make it look like he might be able to make a move. But do the Cowboys decide, hey, this is something that we want to do, or we should focus on that in the draft? And I believe it's something, if you have those picks and you get them for a Micah Parsons, why not use them to replace Micah Parsons?
Yeah.
There's some good defensive ends that are coming out of college that can come in that will be less money.
That is the key. Less money.
Yes.
And more hungry and also less mileage.
And you're with a brand new defensive coordinator that understands your skill level.
Yes.
That will put you in a good spot.
So he's in the room looking for guys that fits what he wants to do. So, I say you go all in on the draft first, and you bring in guys after the fact. You might not get the top tier free agents, but you don't have to pay as much for the free agents that are still on the market.
A name to keep a lookout on for is in the linebacker position is Bobby Wagner. He has a relationship with Schottenheimer. He's a veteran. He might be a low-cost guy for you because he can get a deal with him. But you also want to look at Anthony Hill Jr., Jacob Rodriguez, somebody coming out of college to get that linebacker position. But you also have to look at some of these defensive ends that are coming out, and you might be able to fill that void. One of the biggest talking points here lately has been the possibility of an 18-game season, and players are against it. But Jerry Jones thinks there's some benefit for the players on an 18-game season beyond the financials.
Well, I think it's a better application of their careers and talent. Less preseason, more playing in games that have the right balance of the financial rewards as well as exposure.
Yeah.
Jerry's at it again.
Jerry is not doing what he needed to do. And so it was a little bit different, but I don't see players are looking at it more on the fact of the injury part. We always talk about load management in the NBA, and these are guys that aren't playing this physical of a game, but Jerry's trying to get more money for the people and for his pocket.
It's also strange because they're not gonna add salaries to the players' contract, so you're getting paid less a game.
Well, he's talking about losing that one game for the preseason and playing one.
Yeah,
more
I know what he's
game.
talking about, but that's been the big issue is you're not increasing salaries. You basically just playing that extra game for the same amount of money.
They're making a lot of money too.
Yeah, that is a lot of money.
But they're making a lot of money.
But the TV money will go up for
sure
for the owners.
For sure. They got to try to find a way to get that figured out. Coming up next, we're going to talk to our guy Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman. He's been courtside for this epic run by Texas women's basketball, and I'll get his thoughts on Texas baseball as well. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeart Radio app.
Don't miss the 2026 iHeart Country Festival, Saturday, May 2nd at the Moody Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
A new issue heading northbound at I-35. A stalled vehicle at Slaughter Lane has the right lane blocked off. It's causing a 20-minute backup. Delay start from Highway 45. A couple of crashes off the highway. The first one's on Howard Lane at the Lakes Boulevard. And first responders are on scene of a crash at the corner of Ultor Street and South First. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. See how much you can save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and progressive.com.
It is tough to go outside these days. Hey, that's understandable given how hot it is. But there is definitely a way to beat the heat. A trip to Inner Space Caverns in Georgetown. Inner Space Caverns is a great place to take the family. You'd be amazed at all of the beautiful formations, large rooms, prehistoric animal bones, and all kinds of creations with a truly unique discovery story right here in the Austin area in the year-round temperature of a very comfortable 72 degrees. You can check out the super exciting Sabertooth Zip Ride or Pan for Gemstones. Take the Wild Cave Tour or the Hidden Passages Tour. And there's a great souvenir gift shop and newly remodeled restrooms. Get out of the house, but get out of the heat and get some fresh air underground. Inner Space Caverns, right off I-35 at exit 259 in Georgetown. That's Inner Space Caverns. For more details, check them out on the web at innerspacecaverns.com. Inner Space Caverns. Check it out. Your adventure awaits. I'm here with Dan Christensen of DJC Law, Austin's largest veteran-owned personal injury law firm.
Hey, Craig, you're the best, but I got to tell you, you talk a lot.
Well, you know, it's kind of my job.
That's right. And when you do one thing for as long as you have, you get pretty good at it.
Now I feel like you're calling me old.
Just experienced.
Yeah, just like the team at DJC Law. They have over 200 years combined experience and 500 trials.
Don't forget, a 99% win rate.
That's a winning team. If you've been injured, call DJC Law, 512-888-9999, and get your justice. TeamJustice.com. Uline.com.
Principal office, Austin, Texas.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children. This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Spurs shoot for a 10th straight win when they take on the Warriors tonight at the Chase Center. Hunter Brown struck out 8 over 6 innings of one-run ball. The Astros crushed the Red Sox 9-2 in Houston. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones said the team has long-term plans for receiver George Pickens, but hasn't started negotiations and may let him play out the season on the franchise tag. I'm Ron Moss.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Lowe's.
Pros, if something runs out on the job, order it on the Lowe's app. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get free same-day delivery on eligible orders over $25. Order by 2 p.m. and get eligible in-stock items delivered to your job site by 8 p.m. See terms at lowes.com/shipping terms, subject to change.
College basketball back in the spotlight. March Hoops will have everyone talking.
That game was unbelievable.
Whose brackets are busted, Cinderella stories, and buzzer beaters that make history. Lock into Fox Sports Radio is your #1 preset on the iHeartRadio app. Plus, binge on demand podcasts for more coverage with the Dan Patrick Show, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Their front line looks like an NBA front line.
And more. Search college basketball on the iHeartRadio app to stay in the know. We all use AI, but here, it never pretends it's real. AM 1300 The Zone. Guaranteed human.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone. Basketball season is still rolling. The Texas women have made their way out to Phoenix. And let's get a chance to talk to our guy who we have every Wednesday at this time, Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman. You can follow him at _Danny Davis. Danny, the Texas women have been on a historical run so far in the postseason. They average their victories are plus 142. They've been dominant. And I talked about this a little bit yesterday. It's one thing to have that happen during the regular season, but then getting into the playoffs in March Madness and being able to play that dominant of a defense, that's been very impressive considering who they're playing in this run.
Yeah. And first off, this is like maybe the last time I got to talk about Rory Harmon, and I don't know where Mark is. I just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, clearly what Texas has been doing in the postseason has been pretty impressive. They actually, I don't think have the biggest point differential. I think South Carolina actually has been whooping up on teams even more. So it just kind of shows you how good those #1 seeds have been across the board. But when you beat a #2 seed, which was Michigan was, by almost 40 points, and your best player chilled on the bench the entire fourth quarter, I mean, that just kind of shows us how dominant they've been. And sure, throw the Missouri State game out, but there's 2 Big Ten teams in that bunch, in Oregon and Michigan, and you beat a really good SEC team that you the big bad SEC that you go to war with 16 times during the regular season. That's a good Kentucky team, and you beat them by over 20. So I mean, Texas is the way they've been playing, especially on the defensive end. I mean, Michigan had their worst. That's a top 10 most offensive metrics team, and they had their worst offensive performance in about 5-6 years. So Texas has been playing really good, led by Roy Harmon and just some of the other players who have stepped up throughout the season. But so far so good in the postseason for Texas.
Yeah, and you look at it, and obviously Rory Harmon and Madison Booker get the majority of the headlines, rightfully so. But that dual threat of Brea Cunningham, and then you also look at what Kyla Oldecker has been able to do every time she's come off the bench. It is tough for them, and they're going to be challenged, obviously, with UCLA and Lauren Betts and what she does. But watching them in the post and being able to get those rebounds, get those putbacks, it's been fun to see the growth between those two.
Yeah, I kind of feel, Kyla, just because of how she chooses to, kind of go about her business on the court. And we make a lot of the no smiling, edict that she has for herself, which is intentional on her half. And I think because of that, sometimes just her overall play goes overlooked, because the smile is kind of what she's known for and what's most talked about, both by Vic and sometimes us in the media. But she's come up really good in these last two tournaments, and she was spectacular in the Michigan game, which, take advantage of an undersized team. That's what you should do when you have Brea. And Brea played really well at stretches too. There was a stretch where Texas was really struggling offensively, and Rory knocked down a 3 during that stretch, and I think Brea had a 3-point play and another big basket for them to kind of get Texas get the ship righted and kind of steer them towards that victory. So I think when you have that two-headed monster, as Vic likes to call them, and you can kind of throw them in spurts, they don't have to play 40 minutes. You can kind of, the first quarter is yours, Brea. Kylie, you get the second quarter is yours. That's worked really well for the Texas team. And Vic always says that he loves to play in the paint, and that's really good when you have a Madison who can hit down those mid-range jump shots and drive to the hoop, and then you have those two post players who are going to have to play really well, because Lauren Betts is a first-team All-American, and Texas obviously played her earlier, but she is as advertised. They're going to have their hands full on Friday.
We're talking to Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman. You can follow him at _Danny Davis. Vic Schaefer talked about the Vanderbilt game, and so we're past that. But you start to look at what Vic is to this program, and I saw him and Jody Conrad embrace after the game, and looking what Jody did before, and now Vic taking over this program. Yes, there were coaches in between that were trying to make their run and wanted to live up to the Texas mystique. But watching what Vic Schaefer has been able to do in such a short period of time, what do you attribute that to? His coaching style, his staff? Obviously, he's got great players, but I think it's more of them buying into the process in which Vic wants to coach his teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's probably 46 different reasons why Vic has succeeded, and probably just as many reasons why Karen or Gail or even Jody towards the end of her tenure kind of did not have the success. Obviously, Vic is a very good coach. He proved that at Mississippi State. He proved it at A&M. I think having some staff continuity these last 3-4 years has been really helpful. I mean, assistants obviously often go overlooked, but they're very important. And ask Madison Booker what she thinks of Blair Schaefer. Ask Roy Harmon what she thinks of Sydney Carter, and they can go on for days and days and days. And obviously, they all love Vic, but those assistant coaches are just as important to their development. Elena Lovato, just what she's done as Vic's number 2 throughout the year. Lindsay with the post players, that staff is really important too. And then I think Vic has done a really good job of Karen kind of got caught up with just taking as many McDonald's All-Americans as she possibly could, and sometimes those weren't necessarily the best fit. And you look at what Texas did this offseason. I'm sure, some of these, star transfers had wanted to come to Texas. Texas probably would have said no, but Vic did a good job of, recruiting 4 transfers, 3 who play that fit his system and fit what he wanted to do. When they went out and got Kyla Oldecker 2 years ago, that's a post player who, wasn't highly sought out after in the, transfer portal, but she does what Texas needs her to do in this system. And, these players buy into Vic's defensive philosophies and know that, outside of Madison, a lot of them probably aren't going to be getting those 20-point nights, but they can go star on defense. And they're buying in. Jordan Lee or Justice Carlton could have left after their freshman year if they weren't happy with their playing time, but they bought into the system, developed, have gotten a lot better. And, I think Texas has hopes for, Leah Crump doing the same thing next year. So a lot of it's buy-in, a lot of it's coaching staff, a lot of it's just Vic. And you combine that all, plus Madison and Roy being very, very, very good. And that's why I think this Texas program is succeeding.
Well, not only do you cover women's basketball, you also cover football, and of course you cover baseball. We talked about the Jonah Williams injury, him being out. Now he's getting an opportunity to focus a little bit more on the football side. He's at the baseball games, but he gets to be in the film study and all the other stuff with football. But I'm going back to baseball. The news came out about A-Rod. You've been there. You've seen it. You saw the wincing when he would swing and miss, and now him being out for a little while to help relieve some of that pain. I found out he had some irritation from the staples that were in there, and so that's why they had to go in and do some things. What does this mean for the Texas baseball team, and how clutch was it to get Timo Becerra to be with this program?
Yeah, so you look back and Jim's kind of timeline on when they were recruiting Timo. I think they kind of wanted him to be the shortstop. We're really sure about Adrian, and he wanted that job, and Adrian came in and claimed it during the fall and won that job. So you moved him over to third, and then when you have an injury, that's a nice step to have, someone who has a lot of experience at the shortstop position. We'll see what it means going forward. I think they're hopeful that Adrian's only out for a couple of weeks. You mentioned he was wincing. I think that's putting it generously. He looked like he's getting shot every single time he swung the bat, with how he was grimacing in pain. So you hope that he feels better coming back, and that that leads to a little bit more pop, and he leads to a little bit more effective play on his half. Because if he can get healthy, he may be the most talented player in that lineup, and if he's 100%. At such an important position and in such an important spot in the lineup, that's obviously pretty good. But we'll see. It's nice that Texas has insurance in a Timo Becerra to move over. It's nice that Texas has insurance in a Casey Borba, who was their third baseman last year. It's nice that they have insurance that Josh Livingston came over and had first base experience at Wichita State. So depth is always tested during a baseball season. It's a long season. People get hurt, and Texas luckily has a little bit of depth to play with. And but I'm sure they would much rather have Adrian healthy, so they can kind of go back to the lineups that they had earlier this season. But we'll have to see. That A&M series next week is going to be pretty big. They probably don't need Adrian this weekend against South Carolina, but that A&M series is looming. So we'll have to see what happens next week.
Yeah, Jim's first trip back to A&M on the baseball diamond. He went for the football game, but now he's got to go to the baseball diamond, where he was in that dugout for a while. Hey, I wanted to ask you this before we let you go. Are you headed out to Phoenix, and are you ready for that dry heat, as they like to say?
I think I'm going out there. I have a flight, but I'm someone who's worried that I'm going to be stuck in some TSA lines. So we're going to cross our fingers, hope I can fly out there. But yeah, I'll be heading out there. Looking forward. I got to go check out a Diamondbacks game, so that's gonna be fun. And there's gonna be lots of good basketball when you have those 4 number 1 seeds. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I'll probably stay inside for the most part in the AC. Maybe try to get a run in during the early morning. But I'll try. I'm not gonna come back boasting about which heat is better, because heat is heat, and I prefer for it not to be melting in April. But that's just how you all seem to do it in here in Texas, and how they like to do it out there. But I grew up in a place where I had baseball games that are snowed out in April and May, so I'm still not used to this kind of weather this time of the year.
As somebody who was just in Arizona, bro, it's hot out there. I'm not gonna even sugarcoat it. It was hot out there. Well, be careful. Yeah, make sure you have a good time out there, and hopefully you'll be coming back next week talking about a national championship for these Texas women. As always, man, we appreciate you, and thank you for the time today.
Yeah, we'll see y'all later. Tell Mark to come back next week so we can talk more Rory.
No doubt about it, and hopefully we'll be talking about her getting up into the rafters, and that's after a championship. Peace, bro. There he is, Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman. When we come back, Texas baseball gets a win on a Tuesday night. That's right, folks. And we'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
In their inaugural season in the SEC, the Texas Longhorns made history.
For the first time in 22 Texas women are headed for the Final Four.
Now, they're back to finish what they started.
To the hoop, and she scores! And she scores!
Harmon will hoist it from half court and makes it. Listen to Texas women's basketball all season long on 1300 The Zone. Your home for the Horns.
Don't miss the 2026 iHeart Country Festival, Saturday, May 2nd at the Moody Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
A new issue heading northbound at I-35. A stalled vehicle at Slaughter Lane has the right lane blocked off. It's causing a 20-minute backup. Delays start from Highway 45. A couple of crashes off the highway. The first one's on Howard Lane at the Lakes Boulevard. And first responders are on scene of a crash at the corner of Oltor Street and South First. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. See how much you can save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and progressive.com.
Hey there, everybody. It's Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. I've been lucky enough to spend a good amount of time at the newest and the best sports bar in town, the Rowdy Cowboy. Between the grand opening and the live broadcast that we've done, I've had the ability to sample a large part of this menu. And guys, let me tell you, you're gonna love it. Along with the 32 beers on tap and the 70 big screen TVs, and of course, the Rowdy Cowgirl. If you haven't been there yet, then what are you waiting on? Rowdy Cowboy in Round Rock on the east side of I-35, just north of the 45 loop.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-813-4011. That's 800-813-4011. 800-813-4011.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's a sale. Right now, every service needed for your vehicle is on sale at any of the 3 Leaf Johnson Ford locations, Austin, Manor, and Buda. And we're wide open. Tires, brakes, oil changes for only $39.99 with synthetic blend oil, tire rotations, and alignments. You name it. Any of the 3 Central Texas locations have it on sale. Can't come see us? We'll come see you with our mobile van on most services, or we'll come pick it up and bring it back. Go to LeafJohnson.com and pick your location and time. You'll love it at Leaf, Austin, Buda, and Manor.
Start your day with Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal. The instant oatmeal ready to help you tackle whatever your day brings, like wrangling your toddler into their car seat. That was fun. Coaching your 6th graders soccer team. Go girls! And carrying all the groceries in one trip. Whew. Try Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal, granola, and bars. Great taste and a good source of protein. Quaker, bring out the good.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KBET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
Starting in the Midwest, a strong system is bringing widespread showers and thunderstorms, especially from Illinois and Indiana into Michigan and Ohio. Some could be strong to severe, producing gusty winds and heavy rain. Temperatures will top out in the 50s and 60s. That system is now beginning to target the Ohio Valley and the Northeast, with rain and thunderstorms reaching western Pennsylvania and New York. Temperatures stay in the 50s and 60s. Across the mid-Atlantic and southeast, warm and humid air is fueling showers and thunderstorms, mainly from the Carolinas southward. A Across the plains, conditions are improving behind that system, though it's still breezy with some cooler air filtering in. Expect a mix of sun and clouds throughout the desert southwest as highs top out in the mid-80s, while most of California is dealing with a fast-moving storm that's bringing light to moderate rain and temperatures staying mainly in the 60s and 70s. And in the Pacific Northwest, expect clouds and occasional rain, especially west of the Cascades. That's your national forecast. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
Join the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, each day from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Craig Way Show on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
A look to first and the 1-0. And that one's hit well to left field, and that is gone. And I mean, he got all of it with a 2-run home run, his 10th of the season, and just like that, it's 3-2. 2-2. Swung on and hit well. You can forget about that one. Up on the hill on a fly. Casey Borba pulls Texas within one, and he has his 10th home run of the season. This one is lined in a right center field. That's going to get down, and that one is going to plug the gap. And here comes Duplantier, and the throw is not in time. Longhorns take the lead. Ethan Mendoza with a 2-run double. 6-5 Texas in the 1-0. And that one is lined into left center field. That will get down. Run scores. Robbins to third. And then the ball gets away. Robbins is going to come home. No throw. 2-run score on the play. Texas up 9-5. Here's the pitch. And that ball's hit pretty well to left center field. Going back, and that ball is gone. Yet a yard for Ethan Mendoza. And the Longhorns take a 10-8 lead. 0-1 the count to Manny Salas. Shift is on. The 0-1. Ground ball right side. Borba up with it. He'll do it himself, and the Longhorns get the win. 10-8 the final. They snap a couple of streaks. They had lost 4 consecutive home games to Texas State, and they had lost their last 2 midweek games. So Texas gets the 10-8 win, and the Longhorns improve to 24-4 as they head to South Carolina to resume SEC play.
And there you have it, Texas. As you heard from Roger Wallace, doing a great job as always, making the adjustment, getting the victory, 10-8, defeating Texas State Bobcats for the second time in a couple of weeks. And Texas continues to make things happen. And here is Coach Jim Schlossnagle after the game, especially with that new lineup.
Skipper, one of the things that you look at, and you look at Tuesdays is, try to get guys going and whatever. It starts with me to see Ethan Mendoza back going again.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we've seen really good signs from him and his work and staying on the baseball. I just believe in him. He's truly a baseball player, and he's fun to watch. I'm glad he's on our team.
Yeah, the other part of that is you got to find a way. You're in some adversity right now. You don't have a veteran leader at shortstop, so you got to do some different things. So the teams, everybody's got to step up.
Yeah, we're doing everything we can to make sure they don't hit it to Mendoza, but I'm kidding. At shortstop, he's actually played pretty well there in our practice last couple of weeks. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Everybody deals with injuries, so it just creates opportunities for other people.
Bullpen looked good tonight. It came in attack.
Yeah, I thought Bing did great. Bing kind of Max, if we freaking catch some balls in the outfield, Max did fine. We just wanted him to get out there and get an inning or two of work. I thought Bing did a really nice job. Walker threw strikes, but Crossland and Cozart, man, those guys are pretty special. And just trying not to use them too much, because they're young and we're not even halfway through yet.
Thanks for taking the time. Congratulations.
Right, appreciate it.
Not only was he talking about the 2 freshmen, Brett Crossland, who came in and threw the ball well, had 2 strikeouts. Sam Cozart gets the save, and that is his second save of the year. But Brody Walls, coach has been talking about him, pumping him up, trying to get him his opportunities, and he came in and had 2 strikeouts as well. As you heard, Texas is on the road this weekend as they head to South Carolina starting tomorrow. A Thursday, Friday, and Saturday matchup, Easter weekend. Cannot wait to see what they are able to do. Coming up next, we have got to talk more Texas football. Will Muschamp effect. Yeah, we're going to hear from Greg McElroy and his thoughts on what Will Muschamp brings to the table right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeart Radio app. College basketball is down to 4, and now you can trade on the tournament in all 50 states on Kalshi. Illinois is currently trading at 56% to beat Connecticut. That means a $100 trade pays out $173 if they win. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. As the odds move, you can buy in and out of your position all tournament long. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app, use code iHeart to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it really easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of Falken tires. Go to TireRack.com/Dan, see their Falken test results, tire ratings, and reviews, and be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell consult. The Cordell consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis.
Got a hot take?
Read the room.
Don't let it die in the group chat. Tap the red talkback mic on the iHeartRadio app and join the show.
Love the show, but I disagree with you guys.
It's the fastest way to get your voice on the air. Say it, send it, and hear it on the iHeartRadio app.
Gorillaz is ruling out the possibility of a future movie after a planned collaboration with Netflix fell through. During an appearance on the Zane Lowe Show on Apple Music, artist Jamie Hewlett said, if we'd done a movie, say 25 years ago, fine. But the idea of a movie now, I have no interest in it whatsoever.
I bet she thinks she knows better than me, but that's just part of her charm.
Congratulations to Mitchell Tenpenny and his wife, Megan Patrick. They're soon going to be parents. The couple revealed that they're expecting their first child together in an announcement on social media. Tenpenny and Patrick said their baby girl is going to arrive in the fall. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is lifting the suspension of an Army crew which flew 2 Apache helicopters near Kid Rock's Nashville home over the weekend. None of the pilots are going to be punished. A now viral video shows the musicians saluting one of them as that helicopter hovered near his pool. And can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Well, you take Tubi. The free streaming service is now offering 250 classic episodes of the groundbreaking children's show, including Luis and Maria Get Married, with Elmo as the ring bearer. That's entertainment. I'm Daria Albinger.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KBET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Mike Hardball Hardge, WWE Hall of Famer, World's Strongest Man. The Mark Henry is out today. He'll be back tomorrow. But, of course, we got our guy Marcus behind the boards. In hour number one, we got a chance to talk about the Dallas Cowboys, what their expectations are. Jerry Jones talked a little bit about the benefit of the players having an 18th game and beyond money, but I was like, no, I don't believe that's true. Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman gave his thoughts on what he's seen so far from this Texas women's basketball team as they are now in Phoenix, Arizona. And we just talked about Texas baseball and their 10-8 victory yesterday against the Bobcats. Now they go to South Carolina without Adrian Rodriguez in the lineup. Texas put up 10 runs on 11 hits. Ethan Mendoza starting to swing the bat a little bit better. That's what Texas needs to get this offense going. In the next segment at 8:17, we'll hear from the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, as I sat in for Craig Way on the Craig Way Show from the Dell Diamond yesterday. But Craig came on to talk about the Texas women's basketball team and his thoughts, and also gave his thoughts on Texas baseball. So y'all will hear that conversation. At 8:34, I'll give you my take on the Tiger Woods situation, and Tiger's going through some serious stuff. But right now, I want you to hear from Greg McElroy. Greg McElroy talked about Will Muschamp and what he brings to the team that we may not be talking enough about.
But the big part of how we're going to cover the Longhorns right now is talking about Will Muschamp. And I don't feel like that's getting enough buzz nationally. And while things didn't work out great at South Carolina for Will Muschamp as the head coach, he is now returning to a role that he is very familiar with and has been very successful in. That is the defensive coordinator. And you put Will Muschamp in a role where he doesn't have to worry about the whole program. He can just lock into the day in, day out defense, XO, personnel evaluation. This man turns into something completely different. And from inside the Texas building right now, the reports on how that defense is operating have been extraordinary. And he's installing a defensive system over the last few months that is pretty complex. But the quote from people kind of inside the program is that, man, he is coaching his tail off. And the belief is that Muschamp could be one of the quiet differences. If Texas goes on and wins the national championship this year, Will Muschamp's going to play a huge role in that. And I want to kind of emphasize the word quiet there, because this is the kind of thing that doesn't make a ton of headlines in March, but we'll fast forward to December. If Texas makes the playoff and they're in great shape, it's going to be partly because Will Muschamp's calling the defense.
And that's interesting to me, not only because of the fact of what they're talking about when it comes to Will Muschamp being focused, because obviously there's a lot of people that were thinking that Will Muschamp had the mindset of retirement. And the one thing that I understand is Will Muschamp has the energy and the mindset to be around the young people. When you have younger kids or kids that are in college or kids that are in high school, you kind of got that same energy, even if you're an older guy. But just like me with my kids, I try to be present when it comes to the things that they have going on in their life. Yes, I get some time with all of their friends when they come by, and you know, you hear the lingo and you hear the language, but they also energize you because of the energy that they bring. So with Will Muschamp being around these players, having some familiar voices and familiar players around, when you think of a Blake Gideon being there in that locker room, being understanding of what the messaging needs to be. You got Johnny Nansen, a younger coach that is still part of the energy. When I say young, I mean young-minded head coach, where they are still bringing that energy on that defensive side of the ball. It's going to be something that we're all going to be paying attention to. As he said, it may not show as much in March, in April, in the spring game. You may not see everything that you think you want to see. But come football season, when it's like, let's get to it, that is where it's going to happen. And speaking of the defensive side of the ball, you got to think about that safety room and the differences in some of the young people that are there. But more importantly, the Jelani McDonald's and the Derek Williams being back in that safety room, along with a Blake Gideon coming back to help these defensive backs. And Coach Sark talked about the importance of that safety room.
Yeah, I think one of the things for us with it being a new system is the understanding of the concepts in the secondary that we're playing, and the value of communication, of everybody being on the same page, and how important that is at the safety spot. And so whether it's Xavier or Jonah now, them being in the meetings, them being in the walkthroughs, them being there, of going through pre-practice stuff, of really, alignment, assignment, communication, that's going to help them be ready for summer. So it's not all brand new. And so we're really trying to force the issue with those guys on that front. All the while, man, it sure feels good to see number 4 and number 2 running around back there and doing their stuff.
And those are the two that he was talking about. He was talking about Jelani McDonald and Derek Williams being in the back end of that secondary to help this defense and help the messaging of Will Muschamp and the expectations of such. I continue to go back to that article that was written by Chris Lowe of On 3, talking about the mindset of Coach of Coach Sarkisian, and the focus in which he is right now, and the talent that the University of Texas has on this football team. I also go back to the press conference, and the initial press conference of the return of Will Muschamp, and what Coach I keep calling him Schlossnagle, man, because we were just talking baseball. Coach Sarkisian
Coach Schloss is talking about you right now. That's what it is.
Maybe he's trying to figure out, am I going to be able to get on that show tomorrow, because we're going to be wheels up. They're probably leaving today to get to the ballpark. But I always go back to that conversation of where he says, now I have, this is Coach Sark talking about, now I have a defensive head coach where I don't have to spend as much time with the defense, and I can focus on the offense. And I keep going back to that in my mind, because it makes me wonder what exactly was happening with PK, because I still believe PK's defense was one of the best that was out there. Yes, they had some flaws, obviously playing off the man on 3rd and 11, and you're playing 15 yards off the ball, or 3rd and 7, and you're playing 15 yards off the ball. So I kind of see where he might have had some issues with that. But now you're looking at this team and making the moves that you did to go and get this talent. There's no more excuses. This is more of it. And I'm not saying he made excuses. What I'm saying is, this is an all-in type of year. So the intensity that we expect to see on the defensive side is the same intensity that we need to see on the offensive side, to make sure that they are doing the things that they need to do to have success. This Texas football team comes in every single year with a lot of expectation. I know that it's going to be some of those things that we talk about. But one of the things that Coach Sark was, thinking about during this time was understanding what's happening with this football team, and with Will Muschamp and what he's been able to do, and the thoughts of Coach Sark and what they've been able to build on this football team when it becomes to the part of depth, is something too that Coach Sark continues to talk about. So yesterday, Coach Sark was asked a question about the depth of the football team and where this team is right now.
I feel very good about it. Like I said, we've got a lot of players that are far from a finished product right now. But like I was telling the team today, we believe in hard work, and they have bought into that belief, and they're working really hard. And you're seeing incremental growth at different, by different players at different positions on different sides of the ball. We're seeing the incremental growth, and guys are gaining more trust as we go. And so you see the ability early, and now we're seeing, can guys grow and develop trust through consistency? I'm encouraged right now from where we're at from a depth standpoint. Time will tell the second half of spring practice. Time will tell through summer, through fall camp, on really what does our depth look like of the guys we can put on the field to trust that They're going to know what to do. They're going to know how to do it. They're going to know why they need to do it that way. And then they're going to do it with the intent of which we want to play the game.
That's so important. That's so important. And the one thing that he pointed out there is the intent of getting better. You're coming out with a renewed focus, and the changes on the team, whether it's in the running back room and you got a new running backs coach. You also have the two running backs in Raleek Brown, Hollywood Smothers, and now Derek Cooper, who continues to impress. We'll hear more about that tomorrow. But you start to really look at this program, and people are looking at Sark even more so now because of the moves that were made, the talent that was acquired, what is expected coming into this season. Yes, obviously the Texas State game is the first game of the year, but the Ohio State game. The Ohio State game is where everybody is looking to see what has changed in this program.
You know how they say it's now or never? No, it's just now.
Yeah, because it can definitely happen, and I expect it to be a special, special year for this Texas Longhorn program. Coming up next, you're going to hear my conversation with the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Wade, that we had yesterday before he was wheels up to Phoenix, Arizona, where the Texas women are in the Final Four, and that can be heard right here. Well, no, it will be heard on 98.1 FM KVET on Friday. But Craig Way, in our conversation yesterday, right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeart Radio app.
The madness is here.
Back to back, the Texas Longhorns are headed for the Final Four. Next stop, Phoenix.
From tip-off to the final buzzer, follow Texas women's basketball as they chase tournament glory.
How about Booker one more time? How about it?
Never miss a second of the action on the free iHeart Radio app.
Driving, scoop to the hoop, it's good, and she's fouled.
On your home for the Longhorns.
Hello, everybody. How we doing?
Don't miss our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Awards.
Streaming now on Hulu.
Taylor Swift's first awards show appearance this year.
Taylor Swift is here.
Miley Cyrus takes home the Innovator Award.
Miley Cyrus.
John Mellencamp wins the Icon Award.
Plus performances from Alex Ward,
Kehlani, Lainey Wilson, Ray,
TLC, Salt and Pepper, In Vogue, and more.
All hosted by Ludacris.
You know what time it is?
Our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Awards. Now streaming on Hulu.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
A stalled vehicle has cleared on I-35 northbound at Slaughter Lane. All lanes are back open, but the damage to the morning drive has already been done. You're looking about a 30-minute slowdown from Highway 45. There's also a wreck on Pierce Lane at the southbound side of the 130 service road, and stop-and-go traffic on 290 westbound from FM 1100 to FM 973. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. See how much you can save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Have you ever noticed that the mascots never panic? Whether they're down big, losing late, it really doesn't matter. They're still dancing and still vibing. We need to be more like the mascot and relax, because win or lose, keep the energy high and the Bud Light in hand, because Bud Light is the official domestic beer of Texas basketball. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Please enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Staples has hundreds of great ways to boost your brand, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through April 18th and save up to $125 on all your custom prints. Staples, that was easy.
Voters are listening to the radio, tons of them. If you're running for office, radio is where people are actually tuned in, not swiping past ads. Connect with communities everywhere and get on the air in just 48 hours. Visit winwithiheart.com. That's winwithiheart.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies. all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang here from Las Culturistas, requesting your ears on our podcast.
Download and listen on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you one of the 7% of adults in the United States who are searching for an alternative to sleeping in a bed? Then let me introduce you to Z-Cliner, the revolutionary recliner designed by FlexSteel. The Z-Cliner, meticulously engineered with restful sleep in mind, making it an ideal bed alternative. A healthy life starts with a healthy night's sleep. Z-Cliner is more than just a recliner. It's a personalized comfort experience. It features multiple power adjustments like recline, headrest, lumbar, zero gravity, reducing pressure on your body, tech integrations like charging ports for easy modern living. We know life can be messy, stressful. That's why Z-Cliner is upholstered in a moisture and stain-resistant fabric, perfect for all-day enjoyment, even homes with pets and kids. Z-Cliner, a complete sleep solution. Get started. Unmatched comfort. ZCliner.com/Dan Patrick today to find a Z-Cliner at a store near you.
About 7 years ago, I took this stuff and did great on it. At that time, I was in law enforcement, and I lost weight down to my high school size. So I got off of it and kind of gained it back over time. But I retired from law enforcement, went to driving a truck. So I got back on it a few months ago, and I went from 226 to 190.
Excellent results, Tim. Andro 400 helped you lose 36 pounds in just 3 months. Since 2004, Andro 400 has helped men like Tim get their life back on track. And Andro 400 can help you, too. Imagine losing unwanted belly fat, having all the energy you need for the things you love to do, and imagine enjoying peak nighttime performance. Andro 400 can help you safely, naturally, and most effectively melt that belly fat, boost energy, and improve your romantic drive. We guarantee it. Go to andro400.com for more true testimonials, before and after photos, and special discounts available only on andro400.com. andro400.com.
Wake up with Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
Shot no good. Braves with a rebound, and that's going to be it. Back to back. The Texas Longhorns are headed for the Final Four. Final score from Fort Worth. Texas 77. Michigan 41. Next stop, Phoenix.
You heard his voice. What an unbelievable call by the legendary voice of the Texas Longhorns, our guy, Craig Way. And that's right, this is his show, but I'm filling in for him, and what better way to have him talk on his own show is the voice of the Texas Longhorns, the Hall of Famer himself, Craig Way. Good afternoon, Craig. How you doing, sir?
I'm great, and I really appreciate you hopping on in my place here since I'm in this mode of planes, trains, and automobiles for the past month. And last night, it was a late night drive back from Fort Worth, got back a little after midnight, and then it's wheels up in a little while with the Texas women's team headed to Phoenix. And I know some folks are saying, wait a minute, they don't play till Friday night. In fact, they played the second game Friday night. Why are they going so early? That's NCAA mandated to get them in by tonight, because all day tomorrow, the players will be in the clutches of the four-letter network. So they'll be in their ESPN and doing all kinds of the, on-camera stuff and the lifestyle stuff and things of that nature. And then they've got a couple other team-oriented events that they'll be at tomorrow. So as part of the traveling party, they're on the charter flight. It's leaving late this afternoon, so I have to be out with them. So I do appreciate you stepping in on a wonderful day like opening day. Our man Keith Moreland always says there's nothing quite like it. And I know you, as a former big leaguer, can appreciate that as well, how important opening day is. Even if it's your home opener, if you already started your season on the road, having opening day is something pretty special.
Yeah, I'm out here in the Williamson County, and I'm looking at batting practice. Well, not batting practice. We're getting a couple pitchers, getting to face some guys before actual practice starts, that early work. And it brings me a lot of memories to those days of being out at the ballpark so early. And I'm sure these guys are very, very excited about that. Speaking of the ballpark, before we get into Texas women's basketball and what happened last night in Fort Worth, I wanted to talk to you about Texas baseball. Obviously, you saw the news and heard the news about A-Rod and Adrian Rodriguez being out for a couple of weeks with that hand procedure to kind of alleviate some of that pain. You've seen a bunch of the games and you've called a bunch of the games, and you've seen the way he's kind of winced when he's swung and missed. And I thought it was time for him to kind of set down a little bit. What were your thoughts when you finally heard the news about what Texas was going to do and what was happening with Adrian Rodriguez?
Well, I knew they were considering those options, and between A-Rod and his family and representatives and Schloss and the coaching and training and medical staff, they were thinking, do we do it? Do we try to fight through this thing? Because it had never really healed the way they wanted it to heal coming off last week. And you pointed out very well how when he's done that left-handed swing, and when he's done it, the ironic thing is that when he's made good contact with it, driven the ball, he doesn't feel the pain. It's when on the miss with all that torque that happens when he goes through, that's where that pain really flares up. And it's almost brought him to his knees a couple of times this season, and he's been bent at the waist to try to recover himself. And I think they probably thought, if we can get this addressed now, it may be 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, whatever it is, but then they can get him back, get him healthy, and then for the stretch drive of the regular season, and then in the postseason, they'd have him completely healthy. So I completely understand the move that Schloss and A-Rod and his family felt that they had to do here.
Yeah, and as somebody, I've dealt with that hamate injury myself, and I know what it feels like. And a lot of it has to do when you swing and miss. There's a lot of pain there, and let's just say I swung and missed quite a bit after that, Craig. But with that being said,
that's a convenient plug-in right there. You know why I swung and missed so much? There was a lot of pain involved there. That's why I swung and missed a lot.
No doubt about it. And we wish him nothing but the best. But the one thing that Texas did do when they were going out in the transfer portal, they went and got an experienced guy in Timo Becerra who can play shortstop. That was his position at Stanford, and he can slide over to the shortstop position and pick up where he's left off. But now you got to figure out what you're going to do on the corner spots with Casey Borba, who's been playing an unbelievable first base with that transformation from being at third base over to first, and possibly Josh Livingston being a part of the move and getting his opportunities. But that's what it's all about. You got to be able to get the most out of these opportunities.
Yeah, I think I heard the comparison made more or initially with football when you were talking about cross-training offensive lineman, and a guy goes from right tackle to left guard or vice versa or something like that, a center out to right tackle or something along those lines, and the cross-training of that. And yet the coaches would tell you the reason for the cross-training is to make as few total overall positional change moves within the roster. And I think they're looking at the same thing here. Who is capable of playing short? Who is capable of playing third? Where do you go with what you got without, making too many moves, moving around too many pieces? And I think that's what they're going to be looking at over the course of these next several days. The non-conference game tonight against Texas State, and then on to South Carolina to play the Gamecocks on the road this weekend.
Yeah, it's a big week for the Texas Longhorns, and I can't wait to see that lineup today when it comes out, because that's what everybody's going to be talking about. Let's get to the basketball court. We're talking with Craig Way, namesake of this show. Let me fill in for him because he's a busy, busy man. I love the analogy of plane, trains, and automobiles, because that's exactly what your life has been like during this time. But talk about the Texas women. What an unbelievable performance. It's been happening for quite some time now. That suffocating defense that they've been able to play, but the intensity in which they've been playing and the detail in which they've been carrying themselves. You get a front row seat to it every single night. Did you notice the change like Vic Schaefer after that Vanderbilt game, and now that where they are headed to the Final Four?
I think it's the comfortable or convenient landing spot to say that was the crucible of the season. The Vanderbilt game, they lose by 16. They were down by more than that in the game. Vic calls out the team in the postgame press conference, says, softest team he's had, that they were, had no heart, all those kinds of things. And then of course they turn it around and flip it, starting with the game that was right after that in Knoxville against Tennessee. They showed they had heart there. They had to make some clutch shots. And Vic did say after that game, he said they definitely had heart today. I didn't see it the other night. I saw it today. I was in the locker room the other day, in between the win over Kentucky on Saturday and the game last night against Michigan. It was the off-day press conference thing, and then they have the locker room availability. So they're all in there, and this was after the press conference was over, and there were several there in the locker room, including Vic, and they had a reporter, I think, from USA Today, who was asking him a lot of questions about that game, that Vanderbilt game. And what Vic kept coming back to was, these players know how I feel about them. They know how I care about them. They know how I feel that they're capable of doing more than they did. I'm glad that it worked out the way that it did. He goes, if I had to do it over, I might choose a few different words. He said, but the meaning was there, what I wanted them to take from this. And they did. He said the next day in practice, Madison Booker had never been more communicative, never been louder than she had been. And I think it did kind of serve as a bit of a wake-up call for the players to understand how they had to congeal a little bit better in terms of their leadership. The defensive intensity has always been there. Now, they caught Vanderbilt on a bad night, and Vanderbilt was at home, and they were fired up for the game, and Michaela Blakes was bombing away, and Aubrey Galvan, the freshman point guard, was playing lights out. So it was a perfect storm type thing. But I think they did grow from it. They did learn from it. They haven't looked back since. I really saw it start to hit a crescendo in that SEC championship game where they dominated South Carolina, and then they've just blown out their 4 opponents here in NCAA tournament play. So, in the long haul, while some folks can point to that one game, that one Vanderbilt loss, and say that was the turning point of the season, if you're looking for a turning point, I guess, I don't have an argument with you about it. I would just tell you that what it did was kind of perk everybody up more, understanding that they could be better than what they were showing. Those are the kinds of things we've heard from Rory Harmon and Madison Booker and the rest of the team throughout this run.
Craig, I wanted to ask you this too, because obviously Rory and Madison get a lot of love, and rightfully so. We've been having a conversation about if Rory is going to get her name up in the rafters because of all that she's accomplished. And we keep going back to the national championship, which is great because now they have an opportunity to do that. But I think it's a little bit deeper than that for Rory Harmon and what she means for this program. But it's the others, the ones that Vic Schaefer has been pounding the table about, the Justice Carlton, who always seems to get things started at the very beginning of the game, which is great for her. And then obviously Kyla Oldacre and what she does when she comes out. But Jordan Lee's defense last night, I was wondering when we were going to see Aaliyah Crump and Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman, who you will hear with us tomorrow morning on the morning kickoff at 7:30. He said, look at what her defense has been in this game. And she was so disruptive yesterday. Talk about what you've seen in the growth of Jordan Lee since she has been on the 40 acres.
Well, she's an example of how this team has progressed as a unit because it's the sum of the parts. In the Saturday game against Kentucky, she was bombing away shots. She wound up being the leading scorer in the basketball game. Last night, she really struggled. I think 0 for 9 from three-point range and only had 4 points in the ball game, only hit a couple of shots, but she didn't let it carry over to defense. And we always heard coaches say, if you're having a bad night shooting the basketball, don't worry about it. We'll find somebody who can do that. We need you to do what you could do defensively. And that's what she did. And I thought that was really important, what she did out on the perimeter to help force turnovers, to help force bad shots, those kinds of things. And then sure enough, Madison Booker, and then the double post production that they got from Brea Cunningham and Kyla Oldacre. The numbers were almost identical. I think it was 11 points, 7 rebounds for Brea. Kyla comes off the bench with a double-double with 12 and 11. The combined numbers of that post play is what wore down Michigan. That's what Vic and I were talking about in the pregame. He said, we're going to need those post players to do that. And by the way, they're going to need that on Friday night against a bona fide All-American in Lauren Betts, who's all of 6'7". So they're gonna need that like they did the first time around when they played UCLA back during the Thanksgiving break, and they held Betts to 8 points. They're going to need another night like that come Friday night.
Craig, I'm glad you went there because that's what's going to be my next conversation. UCLA has been playing some really good basketball. Obviously, their one loss on the season was to the University of Texas. They've continued to battle through these moments. What is it going to take for Texas to come out with the victory against UCLA in your eyes?
Well, I think, the general place to start is rebounding and what they'll have to do on the boards, especially with what Betts can do. Her younger sister has played much better. And I'll tell you who else is a real dangerous weapon for them, who is not a factor in that game in Vegas back in November, and that's Kiki Rice. She has been really accelerated in her play, and they're going to have a Jordan Lee, defensive mindset on her, or Rory, whoever has the matchup, to be able to limit her, because when she's going, it really opens things up inside for Betts. If the perimeter game isn't going that well and they're relying so much on Betts, then I think the Longhorns can really clamp down on the inside game as they did in November and really limit the production. But Rice is playing tremendous basketball, and Lauren's younger sister is doing it as well. So it's a team that has played a lot better since that 11-point loss to Texas back in late November.
There he is, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, getting ready for another adventures of plane, trains, and automobiles. Craig, when you get out to Phoenix, Arizona, enjoy yourself, get your mind right, and bring home another victory so this Texas team can get an opportunity to play for a national championship.
You can appreciate this as much as anybody, Hardge. Since we're flying out today and we get in there tonight, there isn't an awful lot for Cameron Parker and I to do out there. We'll check in with Jake and do something there. But acting on that, the Diamondbacks have a 12:40 local time businessman special getaway day game against the Tigers. So I arranged to get some tickets. So the two of us are going to go to the ballpark. And I told Cameron, I said, hey, we're all set to go to the game tomorrow. And he sends me a text back. Hey, you think anybody would mind if I wore my Corey Seager jersey? And I was like, I want to back off that. Just dial that one back. That one's it's still a little too fresh. It's still a little too recent, too soon. Just go regular on that. So that's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, y'all enjoyed the ballpark. I'm going to enjoy it here at the Dell Diamond, and I can't wait until Friday night where the Texas women will be taking on the UCLA Bruins, 8:30, and you can hear all the action on 98.1 KVET FM. That's right.
That's exactly right. Yeah, because we'll have the Express on the zone, and we'll have Longhorn baseball at South Carolina on 103.1 FM and on, obviously, the iHeartRadio app and the Texas Longhorns app. And so the Texas women will be on, as we like to say, our more elephantine sibling that wears the straw hat. 98.1 FM, KVET, the home of Austin's all-time country favorites.
There he is, our guy, Craig Way. Craig, safe travels. Enjoy yourself. And tell Vic I said hello, man. Smile a little bit.
Hey, he's still smiling because they stopped at Buc-ee's both on the way up to Fort Worth, and then late night last night they had another Buc-ee's stopover. So they're all happy about that.
And he shot a turkey this morning. He said he was going to go get one.
He said that on the post game. He said he was going to get a turkey, and by golly, he went and got one this morning.
Safe travels, my man.
Thanks, Hardge.
Yep, there he is, Craig Way, the voice of the Texas Longhorns as they get ready to head out west to take on the UCLA Bruins.
Don't miss the 2026 iHeart Country Festival, Saturday, May 2nd at the Moody Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
A crash is partially blocking off the entrance ramp on I-35 northbound coming on from FM 1825, causing some minor brake taps that start from Howard. Rush hour traffic on Mopac southbound, adding 10 minutes to your drive from Loop 360 to 2222. There's also a wreck on Comanche Trail at 620. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Capital One.
Capital One is a founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports Network. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase with the Capital One Venture X Business Card. Big purchasing power means you can spend more and earn more. The Capital One Venture X Business Card. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code FUTURE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FUTURE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's FUTURE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Like 1664,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary.
I couldn't believe that my property taxes kept going up and up and up. I felt totally helpless. But then I discovered Ownwell. Ownwell reduced my property taxes and saved me over $1,000.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be reduced. Ownwell combines savvy technology and deep local expertise to save real estate owners real money. Plus, Ownwell handles everything from paperwork to negotiations and even attending hearings on your behalf. Ownwell saves you time and money.
Now I feel like I'm back in control because Ownwell reduces my property taxes every year.
Want to see how much Ownwell can save you on your property taxes? Just enter an address and see your tax savings estimate. See how much you can save with Ownwell right now. Text FILE to 64,000. Text FILE to 64,000. That's FILE to 64,000.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Early cloudy today, high around 90. Then tomorrow, more clouds, good chance of rain. Look for a high tomorrow in the mid-80s.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. See how much you can save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
If you're trying to keep up with everything happening on and off the court, we've got you covered on the podcast, Flagrant and Funny. You want to start with the first question for the Big Ten Coach of the Year? Oh, whatever. Would you like to? Yeah, so you're a Spartan, is that what I'm getting? Exactly. So whether your bracket is busted or you just want the real talk on what's happening during the tournament, open your free iHeartRadio app, search Flagrant and Funny with Carrie Champion and Jamel Hill, and listen now.
Presented by Capital One, founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports.
Hey, it's Coach Sark. Now back to the morning kickoff with Hardge and Henry on your radio home for the Longhorns, 1300 The Zone.
This is going to be a short Hard Rock Life. This is normally where you hear the Warren Show, bringing you the world's strongest take. This is going to be about 15-time major champion Tiger Woods. He has entered a plea of not guilty on Tuesday due to the charges of misdemeanor DUI, property damage, and refusal to submit a lawful test. With that being said, Tiger does not have to go to court right now, but the story is a little bit more about what Tiger Woods said after everything was done. Tiger said with a statement, "I know and understand the seriousness of the situation I find myself in today. I am stepping away for a period of time to seek treatment and focus on my health. This is necessary in order for me to prioritize my well-being and work toward lasting recovery. I'm committed to taking the time needed to return to a healthier, stronger, and more focused place, both personally and professionally. I appreciate your understanding and support and ask for the privacy for my family, my loved ones, and myself at this time." Tiger Woods. He put that on his social media. Tiger has been going through it. We all know the injuries and the past that he's had. Driving under the influence, did not say that he was drinking alcohol. He blew 000 in the breathalyzer. But the one thing that everybody was talking about is that he was sweating profusely and his involvement was lethargic and slow. He was also found with some pills in his pocket, and they were led to believe it was hydrocodone. Obviously, his back situation is going through some stuff. Now, in this particular moment, all we can do is wish Tiger the best because of what we talked about before, his mental health, his well-being, and everything that goes along with him. If you need some help and you're seeking help, find some help. I heard somebody talking about this on the Dan Patrick Show. A guy from Austin called into the Dan Patrick Show and talked about himself. So don't be afraid to ask for help if you're dealing with anything. When we come back, somebody else that might be looking for work here shortly is somebody that continues to mess up. And we'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
Get ready to cheer on your Round Rock Express right here on 1300 The Zone. From the first pitch to the final out, Round Rock Express Baseball. Only on 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the 2026 iHeart Country Festival, Saturday, May 2nd at the Moody Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
A crash is partially blocking off the entrance ramp on I-35 northbound coming on from FM 1825, causing some minor break times to start from Howard. Rush hour traffic on Mopac southbound, adding 10 minutes to your drive from Loop 360 to 2222. There's also a wreck on Comanche Trail at 620. I'm Jason Foss. I go to look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Capital One.
Capital One is a founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports Network. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase with the Capital One Venture X Business Card. Big purchasing power means you can spend more and earn more. The Capital One Venture X Business Card. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey there, everybody. It's Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. I've been lucky enough to spend a good amount of time at the newest and the best sports bar in town, the Rowdy Cowboy. Between the grand opening and the live broadcast that we've done, I've had the ability to sample a large part of this menu. And guys, let me tell you, you're gonna love it. Along with the 32 beers on tap and the 70 big screen TVs, and of course, the Rowdy Cowgirls. If you haven't been there yet, then what are you waiting on? Rowdy Cowboy in Round Rock on the east side of I-35, just north of the 45 loop.
Eric Clapton's Crossroads Guitar Festival returns to Texas September 26th and 27th at the Moody Center in Austin, featuring Eric Clapton, along with Trey Anastasio, Joe Bonamassa, Gary Clark Jr., John Mayer, Tedeschi Trucks Band, Pete Townsend, and more. Arrive early for the Guitar Center Experience and Legends Collection, benefiting Crossroads Center Antigua. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Crossroads Guitar Festival.
For over 30 years, CertaPro Painters has been part of countless memories. Every wall tells a story, and we've been proud to help write them. We are more than just your local painters. With care, craftsmanship, and certainty, From the first brushstroke to the final smile, our promise is simple. Your home, beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. You know you need fiber for a healthy gut, but do you actually know how to get it? Quaker's been serving up fiber since 1877, with over 100 great-tasting, good source of fiber options to choose from. Whether you like old-fashioned oats, instant oatmeal, granola, or oatmeal squares, Quaker makes it delicious. So good. Get your fiber with Quaker. Shop Quaker's good source of fiber products at a store near you.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You've accidentally cut your daughter's bangs unevenly. Do you A, line things up a centimeter from her hairline?
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
No. Sweatbands are so hot right now. Everyone's wearing them. Like that basketball player and that other basketball player.
B, get spiritual.
Mom, where did all the mirrors go?
A reflection could never capture our true selves.
Huh?
Beauty is within.
C, look on the bright side.
Less time blow drying, more time texting.
Or D, show empathy.
Mom, you really don't have
Ta-da! Twinsies!
I kind of love it. As a parent, there are no perfect answers, but you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org/OH. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. The Longhorns live here.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 Zone. Mark Henry has been out all day. He should be back in tomorrow. And of course, I want to thank Marcus all the time. Craig Way joined the show earlier yesterday, but got a chance to get Craig Way. And of course, our guy Dan Davis of the Austin American Statesman. Yesterday, I was at the Round Rock Express came up short in opening night, but what an unbelievable night. Outstanding time had by all, and the Round Rock Express did a great job. Got a chance to spend some time around distributing. Great folks over there. Outstanding stuff that is going on out there. Another thing that's outstanding is what's been happening in H-Town when it comes to the one-man wrecking crew, which is named Yordan Alvarez.
Yordan Alvarez cleared for takeoff. Air Yordan in the second deck for the second straight night.
The man is exciting. He fouled off the previous changeup to get to the curveball, and he doesn't miss this one. This one caught the bottom third of the zone.
And the one thing that I've been saying about what I've seen from Yordan Alvarez is power. When you get a chance to look at the power in which he displays every single time.
The sound of the bat.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's just something that people just don't even understand unless you know what that sound is. And Marcus knows exactly what that sound is. The other sound that you do not want to hear if you are a baseball player as an umpire calling balls and strikes that has been a terrible umpire throughout his career. And I wanted to point this out because when I look at what C.B. Buckner is, he is a problem in the major leagues. If you don't remember, let me reintroduce you to C.B. Buckner.
Got him looking, challenge, immediate tap of the helmet. The Reds runners all hold.
Batter's challenging the pitch.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. That's out of the zone. The AB continues. ABS can be a lot of fun, Mark.
It's amazing how minuscule the misses are, but these guys just know it. Great feel for that strike zone.
It was called strike 3, end of inning. Now the 2-2. Called strike 3, tap the helmet again. He says it's off the plate away.
Batter's challenging the pitch.
Here we go. Outside. The loudest cheers of the game. The Reds have hit 2 homers, come on back-to-back challenges.
The loudest cheers of the game come on back-to-back challenges in which C.B. Buckner has failed to make the call. I told you guys the other day, C.B. Buckner threw me out in the minor leagues multiple times on the way on that journey. He's been in the big leagues for a long time. But last night was the most egregious call. I can understand missing balls and strikes. I get that. But you cannot miss a call at first base. And he is, at this point, either trolling Major League Baseball or really that guy that's talking about, I hope I get fired.
Bowers, and it out of the glove of Williamson. Throws to first, it's wide. It's backed up by Fortes. That should be a base hit for Bowers.
He never did make a move towards second base. So he's safe. Heck of an effort by Williamson at second.
Runner did not touch first base and then was put out. So the call from C.B. Buckner is that Jake Bowers missed first base and then was tagged out. Not that he made a move to second base and was tagged out, that he flat out missed the bag. And I think that is the horrendous call. Where is C.B. Buckner looking?
He's not even looking at it. Why would he even say that?
C.B. Buckner was not even looking at the play.
He stepped right on top of first base. I'm not sure what C.B. Buckner's looking at there. That's ridiculous.
Well, I'm really excited for him to have the plate tomorrow.
He's safe. The call's overturned. Milwaukee retains their challenge.
That's just a waste of time reviewing that.
At least reviews available so you can get it right.
Yeah, no kidding. Everybody laughing at that call.
Unbelievable that this is where we are. You know, I said it before and I'll say it again. I'm all for umpires still being a part of the game. I think what we saw with the tapping of the helmets is something that is great for the game. I'm not saying they get every one of these wrong, but when this becomes egregious where you're not even looking at the play at first base, the play at first base said that he did not even touch the bag. I have a still shot of the call at first base where the guy is flat out standing on top of the base.
In the middle of the base.
He steps in the middle of the base. I'm about to retweet it. Go to Hardball Hardge.
And what was Buckner looking at?
Who knows? Go to @Hardball Hardge on social media, on X, Twitter, whatever one you want to see. And my question is, what the heck is CB Buckner looking at? I'm on a thread with some major leaguers, and they said CB Buckner had me struck me out on one of my first at-bats in the big leagues. And I was like, CB Buckner's been striking me out forever, and he's been throwing me out of games forever. He is the reason why people are calling for robots. He is the reason why people are looking at the ABS, because it's a lack of effort. And that is so blatant. And look, I know umpires, you're trying to make a living. I get it. Same thing with referees. And we'll get into the Dan Hurley situation with one of the refs tomorrow. But you sit here and you start to understand why it's so frustrating for players. They don't want to continue to have to argue and correct you on stuff that is blatantly obvious. Bang, bang plays, obviously, you're going to get a review. You're going to get some right. You're going to get some wrong. But flat out missing a guy touching the middle of the base is ridiculous. And CB deserves the flack that he is getting. I want to thank Marcus for doing a great job as always. I want to thank Craig Way for joining us yesterday, but being a part of the show today. And of course, I want to thank Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman as he talks about the women's journey to the Final Four. We will talk more about that. We'll hear some more from Coach Sark, and we will be getting ready for the men's and women's Final Four that will take place this weekend. Just remember this, folks. Don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, The Craig Way Show, and Bucky and BK round out your day. Full day of sports right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on that iHeart Radio app. Peace.
Fox Sports Radio. Did you know we're on YouTube? Did you know you can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube?
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio.